All right, good evening and welcome to Cultural Affairs and Tourism of Brockton. We are glad to be here over at North Baptist Church at 899 North Main Street. And we come here every month except for December, the second Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock. And then you get to see this multiple times through the month on BCA. We thank them for letting the equipment out, and Anne's here running it, so we're glad to have that partnership with them. But we're here every month, except for December. We enjoy what we do because we're telling people something's happening in Brockton. So if you're one of those people that say nothing's ever going on in Brockton, you need to watch this advertisement and program because there's all kinds of things going on. Now, we never announce them in proper order. That would take too much work on our part. So we hit and miss with things. Jumping ahead, it really is for next month, but in February, there is an event for with the Frederick Douglass Association. They're having a discussion time, and so you can go to our website, www.happeninginbrockton.com, and you can get the information. They send it to me, so it's already up there. We know that, we'll see, not everybody sends us their information, but those that do, it gets posted up there until the event is over. And there are some events that are continuous, so they're up there all the time. On the 21st, which is a Tuesday, we'll be having an event here called Tactical Civics, and it's an invitation for anyone to come and learn what we as regular people can do with our government and how things work. And so it's a training program, and so it's well worth your while. We've had 3 or 4 of them already. We'll continue to have probably one every month. And that's right here at the church, 899 North Main Street. Okay, now that's the ones that I knew of right away. And so, our dear friends, come on, Mr. Bruce.
Yeah, thank you.
He's got a bunch of things.
Thank you, Pastor. Good evening. I want to say Happy New Year to all. It's been great. A lot of things happening here in Brockton. I'm very excited to report back to you, Brocktonians, the result of a partial grant scholarship I was provided by the Brockton Cultural Council. A year ago, last year, I applied for a grant. I was very much interested in understanding and hearing from people who live in Brockton. They consider themselves Brocktonians. And I wanted to create like a research so that we can hear from the average person in Brockton. What do you think, and what is your experience in Brockton? And what would you recommend to improve Brockton? And so I wanted to do that. And the project was to do a book. I'm a published author of now 58 books. And so one of the books, this is the book just hot off the press. It's called Brocktonian Voices. And in time, we're going to share this with the community. And this is going to open opportunity for discussions. We're going to have people come in and address and answer some of these questions here. So this will eventually be available in the libraries, in the tourism centers, and places around, in the schools as well. This is a great opportunity to learn about Brockton. And the exercise was to survey 50 randomly selected people in Brockton. And the age range from 11 to 79. Some people resided in Brockton for as few as 8 months, and some as long as 79 years.
Wow.
And the occupation ranged from students to retired persons. And so it's a nice cross-section. It was unannounced, it was not planned, but it all worked out and gives some really good insight as to what people are thinking, they're experiencing, their hopes and their dreams and their frustrations and everything about Brockton. And to speak in one big narrative voice to say, we the Brocktonians, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, this is what we can do, this is how we're involved. So I want to invite each of you to welcome you to this book. You'll hear more about it. It's called Brocktonian Voices, Brockton, the Past, the Present, and what it can become. I am, as I mentioned, a published author of now 58 books. And I'd like for you to join me on January 22nd at the Brockton Public Library. And I'll be doing a poetry reading. And this is sponsored by the Brockton Public Library. And it's from 6:30 to 7:30 on Wednesday, January 22nd. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Well, as you can see, a whole lot's going on, and as we kick off the new year, today is Thursday, January 9th. It feels it. It's not much more than 9 degrees, and but we are ever so optimistic that again there are very positives taking place. Just this weekend, they kicked off an art exhibit in downtown Brockton, and they call it the Gallery East and West at the Enzo Flats, which is the intersection of Montello and Center Street. This is always open, free to the public, and a phenomenal, diverse exhibit. Artists, again, ranging from all ages. This is free, and this will go on to the end of April. And it was just very exciting. They use all various media, and it's just nice to know that all this is going on in Brockton, and it's Brockton artists, and artists actually from all over the world, so that's kind of neat. Okay, and this is all free, all right? The Fuller Craft Museum has a new exhibit. I checked it out today. Oh man, all about reusing instead of throwing something in the trash. And let me tell you, there's some awful creative people. Once again, the Fuller Craft Museum is free to people of Brockton. And it's open Tuesday through Sunday. And there you are on Oak Street. And this is one of only two craft museums on the East Coast of the United States. The other one's in Manhattan, and it's smaller. And it's just pretty amazing that all this transpires. This is January. It's besides being freezing cold, it's also Martin Luther King Day is observed. There's a variety of different activities that take place. NAACP is holding their fundraiser, and you can get a hold of them in various ways. I wanted to point out that there's also, again, the Fuller Museum, and James had talked about poetry. He's doing, how would I say it, a solo act on Wednesday, January 22nd, and this is 304 Main Street in Brockton, the main library, and on January 18th, there's a group of poets, and that's going on, I believe, at 2 p.m., and you can, what do I say, check that out. Variety of different individuals, once again, all ages. This is all free to the public, and you yourself can recite your poetry, and you can hear other award-winning poets. So that's kind of neat. Next, okay, we have Brockton Garden Club. Yes, we are delusional. No, there's no gardens in the snow, but anyway, so to practice, we're having Jeopardy Garden Club. And it's a lot of fun. There's all sorts of prizes. And this is on Monday, January 27th. Our Lady of Lourdes Church was on West Street, but the parking for it is on Torrey, and it's handicapped accessible. There's the elevator, etc. And again, it's free and open to the public. The doors open at 6:30. Love to have you come by and check it out. And we do fun stuff, we do informative stuff. The following month, it's all about invasive plants as people, start thinking about their gardens and their property and whatever for the month of March. Okay, for more information, you can give Anne a call at 774-297-4939. Okay, since our next meeting is not till Thursday, February 13th, which we will have probably double the announcements because we go into prepare for school vacation where there's a lot of various activities going on. We want people to know, we're always at 6 p.m., either on Zoom or at North Baptist Church, 899 North Main Street. Okay, so I want to point out there's two concerts. One is the award-winning Brockton Symphony Orchestra will be performing on February 2nd. And tickets are available both on their website or, at the door at Christ Congregational Church, which has a phenomenal sound system, everything. It's just incredible. And they're just amazing. And it gets packed. And they start at 3 in the afternoon. And there's plenty of parking. That's also handicap acceptable at Christ Congregational Church. The following weekend, in more of a Valentine's type theme, on Sunday, February 9th, there is a free concert sponsored by the local cultural council at First Lutheran Church, and that's called Duo Ame with piano and cello, which I think is kind of neat, but of course I'm biased, I like all those things. And again, that's free. Thank you, local cultural council, for lots of things. Brocktonian, Voices of the Brocktonians, the concert of the symphony, the concert on February 9th, so, 1 week you can't make something, and for the Craft Museum, of course, and all these other great events that go on. But February 9th, again, that's free to the public, 3 p.m., again, handicap accessibility, as we realize there's people out there, and we should mention, too, you can always throw your stroller in there, and what have you. And again, this is just the beginning of the segment. I also want to highlight, normally, Pat Monteith, the our NASA Solar System Ambassador, NASA, Solar System Ambassador, she had a previous engagement, and but she wanted everybody to know that the new maker space is opened and, renovated and upgraded. Those are the terms I'm going to use, at 304 Main Street, and this is for the kids, get into science, robotics, and engineering, and what about technology? I'm sorry, I'm not thinking about all this because there's so much. And we also want to point out that Brockton Community Access encourages people to do public service announcements because then they're played on the various channels all the time. And I know this for a fact because I did a public service announcement and people saw me at the store and whatever, we saw you. But anyway, no, seriously, when people hear something and more than once, it sticks in their minds, and that's a big deal. So we want people to realize Brockton Community Access can be reached at 508-580-2228. They're open 5 days a week from 10 in the morning to 8 at night. Again, that's all free except for a holiday, just like libraries and what have you. So we also want people to realize that lots of times in the winter, this not so fun time of year, we get inclement weather. And there's all sorts of ways for you to find out what's open, what's closed, and where the situation is, whether it's going on to your city's website, contacting your elected official, going on to Brockton Community Access, because that stays on continuously, and they have 3 channels. And of course, I'm not super technologically savvy, but there's also various streaming that transpires, and WATD 95 FM that's out of Marshfield that also is part of Brockton, connected with Brockton. They make all the announcements. So again, those are all ways that you can find out what's going on. Let's remember your pets. It's very, very, very cold out. Let's not leave them out, please, for extended lengths of time. Check on those, that are, more housebound, because those are concerns. I mean, my big thing is, you always get worried that people might not have heat. But the other thing is that carbon monoxide. So let's check on people. Don't be afraid. You can always come here and announce what's going on with your organization, or you can, come on to Zoom, and again, you can take advantage of other components, and we'll see you again on February 13th, okay? Okay.
Also, as you have announcements, you can always email to rdrconsult@gmail.com, and we'll post your announcements on the are happening in Brockton.com, on our website that we maintain. Again, there's lots going on. Like I say, we're really looking forward. We're already preparing for the February meeting because so much happens in February. And but I'm going to throw in one more because Dr. Briggs mentioned the Cultural Council, and I get a grant from them. Well, one of my organizations gets a grant every year from them so far. But we have the first live Irish music concert here every March, and this year it's on March 1st.
Oh, wow. That's
So you can't get any earlier in March. So we're praying for good weather and that folks will be able to come out. So that will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we plan to have the band Marrow here again, and they're always enjoyable. So that's coming up. And of course, there's events all the time, so just check the website because as soon as they get emailed to me, I post them up there. And when Anne mentioned Pat Monteith, there's a big ad on our webpage about all the details for her program. So that's something we want you to take part in. All right, let's see, I can't think of anything else.